Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Today's Diary podcast. As usual, I'm one of your hosts for today. My name is Brandon, and in the studio with me, you've got Zena,
Yo,
and at the background, as always, you've got Ayo, our sound engineer. Yep, we'll come back again to you guys with good topics and great content as we always do promise. But without further ado, without wasting much time, this time I've remembered to come with my Did You Know? So that I will not be embarrassed again. Last time Zena embarrassed me, so I'm ready this time.
so make a start then.
Aye?
Make a start then.
Okay. Did you know that homework was actually invented by someone called Roberto Neville?
What do you mean by homework? Like you go to school, they
Assign
give you assignment.
yes.
Did
Actually
someone
he's
have to invent that?
yeah, somebody there's a person that starts everything. Actually it's said that he's an internet sensation that started the whole thing. And though some people may have floated the idea in the past, like Octavius, Socrates, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and yeah, just basically them and Horace Mann. They may have given some homework, like so just tell the students to go back and do something, but it was not a practice. So it seems like Roberto Neville was the actual person that gave students the idea, like kept on repeating and repeating, and he was known for doing that by the people in his community all the time.
Good for him. So it's because of him that they did not leave me have peace in primary school.
Yes, he's the one who was supposed to
Assign
flog. I'm just telling you so that you know who to attack.
assignment. And I had some teachers. If you don't do your assignment, the way they will flog you, the punishment you will get. Mm.
You know, when you go back home, when the school closes on the weekend and they give you so much work that you don't actually have a weekend. When you're in class 7 and they give you so much work that you by the time you're coming back, first of all, when you come back on Monday, you have that 30 mentors in the morning.
Yep.
That if you fail one, it's one stroke.
And sometimes the homework was part of like part of punishment even. So
Yes.
sometimes you do something and they just punish you and give you one read chapter 1 to 5 for a
That
certain
chapter
reader
1 to
or
5 was not even my issue. It was maths, and I at some point I had to abandon all my fears and face the maths personally one on one.
hope you succeeded.
No, I did actually, I did.
That's
I
good.
made it my best
I
topic
mean,
at some point.
it's I would say it was very I would say uncomfortable, or we did not like it back then, but it was a very good way to force us to study, because some of us, the only thing that would take us back to our books after school would be homework. Like for
Yep.
days that would like
The
if
amount of juicy play
yeah,
that
for
was there.
days that we did not have homework, like I cannot remember anything that will take me back to my book. So
Mhm.
it's good in a way.
Yep. So you know who invented the whole show now. I've given you, so you know what to face.
Good, good.
So now, what do you have for us?
For me, did you know that the blue whale is so big such that it veins, like a human being can actually swim through one of its one of its largest veins?
You mean to tell the vein is as big as this door?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's as big as this door, but a human being can swim through it, so it doesn't need to be. But considering that it's round, maybe if it's
The same way that swallowed Jonah.
exactly, it's a whale that's swallowed Jonah.
It
Is
was a
it a
whale.
whale?
It was a whale now.
Well, exactly. But bear in mind, it was the whale that swallowed Jonah. But now we are talking about a human being swimming through its veins, like veins and arteries. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So that's how big.
That's
The whale
the
is.
vein that acts as the vein in the heart. In the heart.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a big heart. When they say you have big heart, that means they're actually talking out of a whale. That's quite
Fair enough.
interesting.
Yep, that's what I learned.
Okay. Without much diving much, we almost promise you guys to come back with something good. And this time we saw something really interesting on the internet and thought we could share with you guys. It's something really, really touching that concerns a lot of us in the diaspora and those that are back home. I'll just read it out for you guys to get the gist, and then maybe we can go from there. It says many Nigerian families will never be together again. Not because they don't want to be, but because they simply can never be together again. Firstborn is in Canada, secondborn is in Dubai, thirdborn is in Australia, fourthborn is in New York, lastborn is in UK. Parents are in Nigeria making trips once in a while to see them in different countries. They are all getting married and having children who will never really meet or know each other. Their best shot is group video calls, which will almost never happen because there is no convenient regular time that works for everybody due to different global time zones. They've all had to travel because Nigeria failed them and they needed to leave to another country where they can have a shot at life and their children won't suffer what they went through. This is the high price of Jackpa that you can never put a financial value on, that very few people talk about. The destruction of families and the tearing of siblings apart. This is the silent evil that incompetent and useless God-forsaken cursed Nigerian government and lunatic leaders has done to many Nigerian families over the last 10 years. Jackpa is a journey that is worth it without doubt, and I will always recommend it. But because it is far better for you to make that journey for your own good and for the sake of your children rather than stay in a country where it is cursed demonic where its cursed demonic leaders have vowed to destroy the lives of everyone, especially young people's lives. So the whole truth is simply letting you know that Jackpot is a journey that is always worth it, without doubt. But it is also a journey that comes with a lot of pain and high price.
Hmm. First things first,
Yeah.
that is not a Nigerian problem. That is, I would say, an African problem. You get?
Yeah.
I know it's more intense with other countries than others. For instance, I know there are a few African countries where you will not see so many
Of the
migrants
migrating to different
out
countries, like I think
here, for instance,
Namibia.
in UK, yeah.
Namibia.
But many others, I'm from Cameroon, and Cameroon is not left out of that problem.
Yes, most definitely.
And I completely share what you've read. I completely share in that idea. So, like, it's so painful. I like that in the end, he said he'll he'll maybe advise people, like, he's not saying it is a bad thing to travel. It is a journey to make for yourself, for your family, but these issues are there, you get.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so hard because most people back home don't even know. We are so focused on the advantages, or we are focused on the greener pastures
Without
that
looking
we
at
are
what
not
is
there.
actually the negative
And
side of it.
yeah, and you only start feeling this once you're in that space, because he's talking about children who will never meet their cousins, or siblings who will never meet, even like they'll never be together. It always ends on a video call that no one, like, not everyone will be available at the same time, and so on. They are even lucky, at least their parents can visit. We have people scattered, families scattered all over the world, where they cannot even travel back home. They are not even in a position where you say their parents can visit. They are not even in a position where they can visit their parents. I've seen quite a few people here in the UK who've lost one of their parents, or while they are here, and they cannot even travel just to even be
Yeah,
there, for the
it's something
burial.
that it's not
It
it's not
hurts.
it's not easy. The thing is that, like you said before, we are mostly focused on the important part of it, on the beneficial part of it, on the positive side of it, but we don't know the impact. I remember myself the very first time that I left Cameroon, and it was really really exciting. All the parking and everything was really really good. But the moment I was sat in the plane and that plane was taking off, as it was going up, and I could see the city below me, then it's like
Not going to do it.
something hit my chest, like boof. Then like I felt a certain cold, not like physical cold, but it dawned on me immediately that, hey, I'm not going to see those people I've just left for a year.
Yeah.
So that was what came to my head. I'm like, oh my god. Then it flapped out to me. Oh, but I'm going to meet this person, this person, this person. Then a little bit of joy came back. So, but then just that feeling of that you've left your home was different. Looking forward at things now that you've landed, you've seen places, you've enjoyed one or two things down the line. The impact of that is that I may never get to know my nieces and nephews and all the rest again because they've also gone to different countries.
There are people you will never see.
See ever.
Friends.
I only know them online.
Schoolmates that you spend so much time with, your friends that you grew up with. There are many of them that you will never see again. You've completely just lost out on that connections.
Yeah.
Like you meet people who are born and bred here, and they start telling you about their classmates, like, oh, this one we grew up in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
Those are things very few people can enjoy that. I'll say it's a privilege at this point, it's a privilege. Very few people can enjoy that privilege at this point because, I mean, a lot of people are traveling and you see school associations are now organizing meet and greet, come together, and in places like that, you can then meet one or two people from your school. But in other cases, you just will never meet them. I mean, you'll be lucky if they are even alive and you're talking with them over the phone. Some of them will be dead by the time you ever.
Yeah,
get the opportunity to
I
go back
remember
home.
I remember, sorry to cut you short, but I remember my cousin came to the UK. He came right to Scotland. The lack in communication made it such that I didn't even get to see him, and I haven't seen him. I lastly saw him when he was maybe, I'm not sure if he's 10 or 10 years old, and since then and he's a big man now, working and doing everything. I'm not even sure if I message him, he will reply back. And he has junior sisters as well. I've never met them. So those are the impacts. I have ones that I was even encouraged last time by my dad to even, or my family members, to put everybody together in a WhatsApp group chat to have a conversation. I did, but what exactly do I want to say to them?
There
Because there are
is
people
no
that
connect. I'll say
there's no
very little
connection.
or no connection, is it?
Yeah, and secondly is that they there are people that are older than me, way older than me, that if I'm the one coming forward with the initiative, I'm trying to reach out to them. It's because of that lack of connection, it falls differently. So that's something that this thing of traveling abroad takes away from a lot of people. And we go abroad, we always have that initiative that, oh, we'll go back home to do things right, do this, do that, do this. But then you go back and realize that nobody you grew up with is actually back there again.
That's for people who can even go back.
Yeah.
No,
No,
no.
that's, I'm just looking at the going back part. I will get to that other side.
Okay.
Yeah, the people that you go back, you realize that nobody is actually there. I've called back home and I had someone show me the place where used to play. I grew up in. The main street, it's grass. Grass has grown there because everybody has gone somewhere. Especially with the crisis that happened, everyone has left. There's nobody that is back there anymore. So when you look at it, then if you go back there, you want to go and relocate and look at this, you have to relearn the environment back. If you're going back to do business, you have to learn back everything. And everyone considers you now not the
You're a
person they knew
stranger.
before. They
You're a
consider you
stranger.
like, not like a foreigner, but you're a new person now.
Yeah.
And from the prices of your goods and services changes to the way you're being treated. And there you not run out of money, by the way. So that's just besides the issue. But with the knowledge of the things that are happening and the things that we do get missed out from, family connection, family tradition, traditional things that happen back home, celebrations, the birthdays, then not to talk of the part where It's just the attachment is either to solve one or two issues or to just have a conversation online. You only have to reminisce on things that happened before. That's all. If you don't have pictures, that's it.
Yeah.
And by the time they see you back, if you make 10 years abroad, you want to go back, you leave your country at 25, maybe.
By the time
You
you're
go
going
back
back,
10
you're
years, you're
35, you're
35.
married, you have
You're married, you
kids.
have kids. You're just going to show back, you show your kids back home, and that's it. If you left your wife, if for those who left their wives back home, think saying that 1 year I'll be back. This square sang it now. Bank a lot. That 1 year I'll be back. You went abroad and made 5 years. If you come back after 5 years, you left your home and you're back after 5 years. What exactly? Your child is now 5 years old. If
That's
you left
it.
your son,
Yeah.
if you didn't leave a child, what has been happening there? See, the
And you
dangers of
have
the
you have
dangers of
you
this
have
thing
you
is
have people who've been here more than
God.
5. You were just talking about that. We have people who've been here more than 5 years, and they left their wives or husbands back home, and they've traveled 5 years later or 10 years later, and that has also been the cause of so many separations,
Yeah, a
because
lot of
most
divorce.
people travel like that, and then they just move on. You just grow apart and you move on.
Yeah. You reach here, you realize you reach abroad, you realize the dynamics of what you thought it actually is not what you actually meet on ground.
Yeah.
That you come, you reach, by the time they tell you how things run and things go left and right, you hit the ground. It's hardly you hit the ground running unless you come when someone has prepared the ground for you already. If no one has prepared the ground for you, the person that comes to prepare the ground. So by the time for you to even balance is 1 year minimum. Minimum is 1 year. No matter how fast you are, it's 1 year. So by the time you make 1 year, 2 years to gain your grounds, before you want to look back and say what's happening around me, can I even stand properly? That's 2 years has gone. As a husband, as a
Yeah.
father, as a wife,
This topic
as a
is
brother or a
this
sister.
topic cuts really deep, Brandon. It
It's
cuts
something.
really deep
Yeah,
because we are all suffering from it. You know, like there are times where you just feel. I mean, it's different when you have family in the same country, right? But in those cases where you are alone, definitely you go, you make friends, you have new relationships. But there are times where you just feel so alone, and you wish you just had your parents. For those that have their parents alive, you just, especially, I've seen a lot of people crying literally, especially when you start having kids and the struggles with childcare and everything, and it just breaks your heart to see that, oh, you wish your parents were here to just help, and that's something they are dying to do. Back home you have people everywhere, aunties, uncles, neighbors, everyone back home willing to just help you. But here you don't even get to, I don't know,
yeah,
you don't even get the people your family to support you as a person, to be there for your family, to be there for the kids. Nothing. It's sad.
yeah. It's different. It's for some people. It's better that they do have someone that is a family to them around them. But for others that don't have it, or just have maybe one person, God forbid you and the one person that you do have then develop some sort of problem. Ah, God. Before you want to join back again, it's not easy. Basically, the whole message here is that do the people that are back home do see that, oh, bush faller, jackpot, you're not in a good country, you're doing these things, you're enjoying life, you're
which
living
is
big life.
which is all true anyways.
What is all true? What do you mean? No, people are suffering. Oh.
People are suffering.
Yeah, but
I'm not,
I
I'm not
don't. The
denying,
thing
but
is,
it doesn't stop, or it doesn't make the fact that you have opportunities here a lie.
yeah, but the issue, well, some people are enjoying, some people are living large. To be honest, not everyone is suffering, not everyone is
Yeah.
struggling. To be honest, but I just wanted to put it out there that besides that part, there is always that sympathy that people have left their mother, and some people actually lose their parents without actually seeing them again because they are now abroad and it never gets to happen for them again. And that
Absolutely.
is life. They lose
Absolutely.
parents, they lose brothers, they lose sisters, they lose uncles, they lose wives, and that
Absolutely.
is just it. And some people might never get to. People don't even have hope of going back. There are people that are just
There are
underground,
people. Yeah, I was
and they
gonna say
don't.
there are
There is
people
no hope.
who really wants to go back, but they cannot.
They can't.
Some
There
some
is no
cannot
hope.
even afford, especially when you're here, you have a big family and they are still young. You cannot even afford to pay flight for the entire family to go back.
Yeah, because that flight alone is like 5M.
Yeah. So
By the time you pay flight for, let me not put 5M. Let me say you pay flight for £3,000 or £4,000. You feel your upskin
exactly. How long does it even take to
before.
save that amount and then you take it? That's the only flight.
And besides the
And when you're
besides
going,
besides the going back, even you're not going back empty-handed.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. And when you're going, it's not just the
So
flight. The flight is the least of your
God,
worries. So there's a lot.
trauma, problem. So basically, guys, as much as things are good abroad, things are nice, and some people are actually living well, there's always that emotional touch. Or when we saw this, we resonated, like we could relate exactly to what that means. Not just for the emotional part that we've just explained, but what it means for the country. You can imagine the amount of Cameroonians, the amount of Nigerians that are in foreign countries. Cameroon, for example, is being said that it's just about 30 million people, but I think there are more than 1 million Cameroonians in France, for example. I think there are more than 600,000. Let me not say 600,000. Let me say 5,000 or 10,000 Cameroonians in the UK, Australia, United States of America. So if you just look at people, the amount of people that are out there, by the time you want to realize, that's that country's population. So in short, generally the thing is
It's
just touching. The
heartbreaking.
country is losing. The brain drain is there. That the intelligent people are just moving abroad. Doctors, lawyers, nurses are just moving abroad to for greener pastures. While the people back home too are still struggling to take in short. You leave home to go and win bread. Some people even go to the bread win. Where you go to win the bread, you realize there's no bread there for you to win. You cannot even go back home because you're the breadwinner. Breadwinner, you leave home to feed home. Before you get back home, they're eating. Their home is already eating, and you're still starving. Things are not. It's just a traumatic experience for everyone generally. But hopefully things get better, and we are able to look back at the places we call homeland and be able to relate proudly to it in a way that we don't need to move anywhere anymore. We can only not just pray, but we can work on it and take a chance to create things better for the future generations so that the things that we're complaining about or discussing right now does not get to be a norm for the next generation that are coming, for our own children and their own children as well. It relies on us to be able to take decisions. We'll be leaders too. We'll come to power or come to power. It's a place to be able to know that no matter what you do, leave a legacy that will leave something that it will be significant for development. That your country, it will make it something that people don't need to move out to go and look for again anymore.
Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
it's
Of
something that I'm
consoling.
touched by it all the time when I look at it.
Anyways, that brings us
That
to
brings
the end
us
of
to
the
the end
segment,
to the
isn't
end of
it?
this segment actually. So as usual, guys, don't forget to actually comment, share,
Like, share,
like,
subscribe.
subscribe,
Until we
and
meet again.
until we meet again. See you guys. Ciao ciao.